You to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices.
The AM, you can watch the show there. Adrian's producing. So, it's not the calm before the storm. It's the chatter before the storm, right? Media days are happening everywhere. The Big 12 has been going on. The SEC is going on. We're going to Vegas, and the show will be from Vegas at the brand new Circa tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing that new property downtown in Vegas, and everybody will be there. Commissioner Gloria Nevadas will speak at 9:30 our time tomorrow morning. And there's so much chatter and it's going on. And every year there's like a story or two. And somehow, and if you had Oklahoma's Brett Venables versus Colorado's Deion Sanders on your bingo card, you are well ahead of everybody. I don't know where this one comes from, how this one came to be, but some of the best sparring is going across the bow, across conferences, and it's bonkers. Now, I think it surprises nobody that Deion is involved in some sort of a verbal war with somebody, and I'm not even sure where it started. But Brett Venables is not a fan of Deion Sanders' approach to building a roster at Colorado. And he said something, and it's gone back and forth. Look, Deion's used the transfer portal at Colorado. He's overhauled that complete roster. And I don't know if it's unprecedented, but it's certainly something that we haven't seen much in the past. And I'm not sure I think we'll see things like this again, but with more than 50 scholarship players leaving since Deion was named the head coach in Boulder, that was just in December, it's been met with a lot of mixed reviews. Brett Venables is the second-year coach at Oklahoma. And I'm not even sure how it came up, but he's taken his shots. And Deion came back yesterday at Brett Venables and said, man, it's not me. I wasn't handed a Ferrari. I didn't come in and basically I'm paraphrasing, but I wasn't handed a Ferrari like he was at Oklahoma, and now he's crashed it and the thing's burning, right? Basically what he said is, look, dude, you came in and you had Oklahoma. Lincoln Riley left you Oklahoma. Man, why don't you just mind your own business, tend to Oklahoma, because you've crashed that damn car, right? And so Venables was at Big 12 Media Day. He was on 94.7 KREF, and he contrasted his approach with what he calls, quote, 12 months of grace, end quote, that he gave the Oklahoma players since his debut in 2022. Now, do you know what Oklahoma's record was last year? Any idea? Do you remember? Oklahoma, Lincoln Riley playing in the 4-team college football playoff every year. Do you recall?
I do not.
They were 6-7 last year in the Big Ten.
He crashed that.
I'm sorry, in the Big 12. In the Big 12, Oklahoma was 6-7. Like they lost their bowl game. Oklahoma was 6-7. And so he said that was their first losing season, by the way, since 1998. So then 21 players this past offseason transferred. And so somehow Brent Venables is in this argument with Deion over transfer. Like, first of all, dude, you got your own issues. With all due respect, and I'm not going to sit here and I know Deion is kind of one of the most popular or unpopular, and probably one of the most polarizing people, and going to get more so in college athletics. But Venables said, quote, I gave guys 12 months of grace. I was unlike Deion. I gave guys 12 months of grace to figure it out. Here's 3. Go to class, live right off the field, and when you show up here, you show up with respect and appreciation with your opportunity. And if you go for 3 for 12 months, you need a fresh start. So we helped 21 guys, give or take, find a fresh start. That was his quote. You got a problem with that? On the surface, you have a problem with it?
It sounds like he's making an excuse. I do have a problem with that. And you and JJ had this discussion a few weeks ago. I'm with JJ. Like, use the portal. It's there to be used. Why do you need 12 months of grace? That's an excuse. That's kind of clownish.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't have the problem that you do. I don't. I agree with you. Use the portal. It's there. And if you don't use the portal, you're going to get left behind. I think, the days of, and when we get this email every week, if not multiple times a week, why are guys defecting? And that's just the way it is. When guys leave your program, you cannot say, well, what's going on over there? The place is falling apart. You just it's college athletics today. So Venables called out Sanders' tactics, right? There was another Big 12 Media Day interview with OU Nightly Sports where, and I don't know why Venables is on attacking Deion, Oklahoma's coach, but he said he'll keep the same approach for Oklahoma for 2023, though not without contending that Sanders effectively gave pink slips to the Colorado players from 2022 who left to play somewhere else. Quote, we're another year in establishing our standards and our culture and our values. That matters. A year ago, I challenged the guy. I wasn't like Deion. It gave a bunch of guys pink slips. Again, I don't know why he's going after Deion. Now, look, I don't know if Deion Sanders' method is going to work. I don't think they're going to win at Colorado this year. I think their schedule is brutal this year. I mean, do they win more than one game like they did last year? Yeah, I think they win 3, maybe 4. Okay, I think it's going to be rough for Deion this year, right? But they're going to have a completely, he thinks, different caliber of talent. Deion brought in the number 1 transfer portal class according to 24/7 Sports rankings. It's got Travis Hunter, who came after signing at Jackson State as the number 1 overall recruit. Deion defended himself. Quote, this was, he told Fox Sports' Joel Klatt, what I'm doing is no different than any CEO. End quote. Deion's going to get his chance this week. Deion's going to be asked about Brent Venables. Why do you think Brent Venables has decided to take his shots at Deion? Like, where does he win in this game?
It sounds like he's on the hot seat.
After 1 year. No, I think you're right, though. I think you're 100% right. Because Lincoln Riley, Bob Stoops did so much at Oklahoma. Like 1 year at 6-7 at Oklahoma.
That's all it takes.
And by the way, you're going to the SEC next year.
Yeah, let's show up in the SEC as a losing team.
By the way, it's going to get way tougher next year.
Yeah, you don't get to play KU and K-State. Although K-State's good now, but you don't get to play Iowa State.
Yeah, and Iowa State. I mean, I think Campbell's done there has been good. Iowa State beats people every year. Look, but to your point, you do get to play Vanderbilt. You do get to play Missouri. Do you think JJ and I have this conversation all the time? The SEC is really good, right? We're not. There's no arguments that at the very top, right? When you say Georgia, Alabama, LSU, but after that, Are they great? I'll give you Georgia. Tennessee was great last year until Hendon Hooker got hurt. LSU, Alabama is really good. Do you think Texas A&M is great? Hardly.
No.
Auburn's really trying to figure it out with Hugh Freeze. Arkansas wasn't great. Ole Miss is good. Mississippi State is good. Florida's been good. Kentucky got good. South Carolina, Missouri, Vanderbilt aren't. I mean, is the bottom of the SEC any better than the bottom of the Big 10 or Big 12? They're super, super top heavy.
They are. But hey, I look at those squads, and from the NFL perspective, I would take a bottom tier SEC player before maybe a mid-level Big 12. And I kind of hesitate a little. Playing in front of big crowds is a big thing for a college kid going to NFL.
Big 12's they got big crowds, don't they?
They're not playing in front of 100,000. I mean, when I see the level play in SEC, I see NFL futures, and I don't necessarily see that in Big 12.
And I'm going to take away the NFL prospect because I'm going to look at the college football angle. Winning at the college level. That's, I mean, your fan at Vanderbilt doesn't give a damn on a week-to-week basis, or at Missouri, or at South Carolina on a week-to-week basis how many prospects I have. They do at the end of the season when the drafts come. But, I mean, week-to-week, I mean, they don't care. So who do you want every week? I mean, if you tell me each week, this is the great football you want, but I got Iowa State against Missouri, or I just go Pac-12 and give me Oregon State versus Vanderbilt, or give me who's the Northwestern versus, I mean, a regular Northwestern team, Minnesota or Northwestern versus Missouri, right? But I'm not looking to compare the bottom of it. I guess I am. Top of the league is inarguable. But my point is they've got their weeks off too. No weeks off in this league. Kind of, just like anywhere else. Got a lot from Media Days today. Dante Martin's going to be with us, Lobo defensive back, coming up at 9 o'clock. Looking forward to talking to him. He's on his way to Vegas. We'll give him a little precursor of what he's going to get from the regional media when he goes to Vegas for Media Day. So we'll talk a little Lobo football at 9 o'clock. I got a lot of NFL stuff for you. Otani hit another one last night. We're a lot of different places. But when we come back, there's a commissioner, a Power 5 commissioner, who says only Congress can save what's going on with NIL. It's not very often that you hear people asking for the government to get involved. Only Congress can resolve this issue. How do we get here? And how do we get out of it? Next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sound of a safe place to go after.
The Sports Animal.
It's pretty rare that people want more government in their life, right? Give me more. Give me more oversight. Give me, hey, you know what I really want? I want Congress involved in my business. Let's let Congress, especially in sports, let's get Congress involved. Those guys will solve our problems. That's like almost never, right? Almost never. That's what's going on in college sports, at least coming from one corner and one very, very powerful corner. Good morning to you. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta in D.C. in your ear on a Tuesday morning. JJ's off this week. He'll be back on Monday. I know somebody speculated, whoa, 2 weeks off and 3 weeks for JJ. What does that mean? That means he had some time to burn, and he was going to burn it this summer, and then he takes vacation. It's kind of what it meant. Just telling you. When I'm gone like next week or something, it'd be, I should be back for our 15th anniversary show next Friday. That's the intent.
Yeah, Rome took off 2 weeks. He came back. Yeah. JJ will be back.
It's amazing how that happens. All right, NIL's been an issue. Ever since NIL became something that has been within the rules in college athletics, right? Name, image, and likeness. Student athletes have the right to be compensated for their name, image, and likeness. Now, has it gone as intended? Has it gone as expected? Has it gone regulated at all? I think all of those answers probably are no. Although intent is interesting. What did you expect? Maybe this is what you expected, the Wild Wild West. I don't know that I think players are getting compensated, student athletes are getting compensated for their name, image, and likeness as much as it has become pay to play. And I think across the board, most people in college athletics will tell you, yeah, it's kind of become that. You've got collectives who are paying players to come to play at their institution. I'm not going to sit here and pass commentary on that. Good for the student athletes for getting theirs. But it's unregulated in a lot of respects. And is it really for their name, image, and likeness, or is it, hey, here's your money? What are they doing for it? I think the intent was, hey, DC, you're going to be a baseball player at State U or University of, and the example was used, hey, you're going to do a couple car commercials for the car dealer, and you're going to get a few $1,000s, right? Not here, come here, and here's $1 million, and make 2 appearances on a general collective. Or everybody on the team gets $35,000 to get started. I don't think that was the intent, but that's the reality. And there's plenty of corners who are going to say that's great. I'm not passing commentary. It is what it is at this point. But I think the majority of people with whom I speak in college athletics feel that they, and I've had this conversation with you countless times over the past bunch of months, they need to reel it in. And the question I continue to ask, not only to you, but I've asked commissioners, athletic directors, coaches, who is they? Right? They've got to figure it out. Oh, they've got it. Who the hell's they? Well, SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey, who might be the most powerful person in college athletics, right? The SEC is the power conference, and he is the commissioner of said conference. At the media days in Nashville yesterday, Greg Sankey said that there is a, quote, urgent need, end quote, for Congress to enact a national standard for name, image, and likeness. He believes that only Congress can adequately resolve these issues. Now, you've got different rules in different states. Some states are more friendly to the student athletes. Some states are less friendly to the student athletes. Many of those states are within the same conference. I mean, look, geography isn't an issue in conferences anymore, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you got states bordering each other that have completely different rules in regards to what student athletes and institutions can do in regards to name, image, and likeness. So Sankey was at Media Day yesterday, and this is a quote from Greg Sankey, commissioner of the SEC. Quote, the reality is only Congress can fully address the challenges facing college athletics. The NCAA cannot fix all of these issues. The courts cannot resolve all of these issues. The states cannot resolve all of these issues, nor can the conferences. Whether congressional action is achievable is a matter of debate, much debate. But educational opportunities, supporting equitable opportunities for men and women, ensuring the United States' continued success in the Olympic Games, providing medical care, nutritional support, academic support, mental wellness, counseling. These are nonpartisan issues that deserve a nonpartisan solution, end quote. There's a lot there. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't disagree with it.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. It makes perfect sense, because if one state can pay you 10 times what the state next to it can,
that's right.
That is a big deal, and that'll push a kid to play somewhere that maybe they did not intend to play.
Now, he said that to his knowledge, no state has taken action to enforce any of its own NIL laws, right? And you've got individual states who are preventing the NCAA and the conferences from adopting and enforcing reasonable NIL standards. That's again, his opinion. But he said that while NIL has been what he calls a net positive for young people, that was a quote, there are also stories of how it's been used. Misused. Here's another quote from Greg Sankey. Quote, some stories told and others not told, of promises made but not fulfilled, of inducements offered but not provided, of empty commitments, and NIL agreements that created more questions than provided answers, and other behaviors in this space that rightly cause concern. The reality is our student athletes deserve something better than a patchwork of state laws that support their name, image, and likeness activities, if support is the right word. Another end quote. I'm going to tell you, the United States Congress has a lot of issues. Border security and the economy and a war in Ukraine and I mean, go on and on and on. And I am almost never a guy who says, you know what, take it to Congress and let them figure it out. Because I don't know that Congress people have a full understanding of athletics, let alone college athletics. I think the majority of them have no idea. And I'm always really, really concerned when you start letting Congress legislate athletics. But I don't think he's completely wrong here, because I don't know who else is the body that's going to be able to reel this in. And to his point, you've got promises being made all the time that, okay, come to my school, and then they're not. Was there a kid going to Florida? Was it Florida for $5 million, and then the thing fell through, and he was there, and then I think he went to Arizona State, if I'm not mistaken. This is about a year ago. But it is the Wild Wild West. And if you want it to be equitable, if you want it, so there's a number of places we got to be concerned. And DC, I know we're going to take a break, so I want to continue this on the other side. I'm going to change. I was going to do something next, but when we come back, I want to have the conversation with NIL rules, enactment, guardrails, whatever it is you want to call it. Who is it most important to make sure we're protecting? And I know the answer is going to be yes and yes, but is it the individual student athletes or the institutions? Well, the answer is easy, right? It's got to be the student athletes. But the institutions have to be protected as well, and I'll tell you why. We're going to continue this and where Greg Sankey wants to go and where I think it's going to go. That's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Brought to you by the
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, That's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
The commissioner of the most powerful conference, Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, says that's what we need. He said the future of college athletes deserve more than, quote, the need to sort through a full, unregulated marketplace, being approached by individuals who present themselves as something that they may not be, where anyone can purchase card stock and run through a printer and call themselves an agent on a business card, end quote. NIL's out of control. Every coach, every administrator, everybody you talk to says that. Sankey said he's spoken to the players throughout the SEC, and the players want to know about the uniformity of NIL policies across the country. And he's never talked to a player yet who wants to be deemed an employee of the school or conference. And there's been a lot of talk about that. Well, they should be treated as a player. This is what's going to happen. I'm just going to tell you, when we get into the Congress, nobody agrees on anything, right? And we're going to draw our lines based on political party. This is how it's going to get messy. And blues on one side, reds on the other. And I mean, if you think this is going to get done easily in Congress, I think we're out of our minds. But he said our student athletes want to know that the competitors on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage are subject and governed by the same rules and policies by which they are. And all this is fair. Student athletes want to know, but I think universities need to be protected too. Well, Jeff, I mean, they've got all the money. Well, right now, the universities are theoretically out of the NIL game. Did you know that? That's what the collectives are supposed to do. The NIL money, theoretically, is supposed not coming from the university. The university, the athletic directors, the coaches, I don't know anything about that. So theoretically, the way it's supposed to work is you recruit a player to your campus, and then somebody with the collective says, "Oh, hey, let's talk about your NIL." Well, that's not happening. During the recruitment process, it's, well, what's my NIL opportunities? How much am I getting? Well, they're offering me $300,000 a year, right? It's part of the process. Well, why don't we make it transparent? And I don't have the answers. All I'm telling you is when you tell me let's bring in Congress, let's figure this thing out. A, I think he's right, but B, I think it's messy, and there's no clean answer. But you've got something cleaner? Because I'm listening. If you've got something or someone that makes this cleaner, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, as it sits, I seriously doubt anyone has a cleaner option. I see that there's an algorithm that you can kind of get the valuation of a player, but even that, it's as I look through it, like what is influence for an 18-year-old? Is that number of social media followers? Is that,
Well, but I don't even think it matters anymore, right? I mean, Libby Dunn, it hits the top of the algorithm, and so she's the gymnast at LSU who was all over the ESPYs, who's this beautiful young blonde gymnast who's got a trillion, I know I'm exaggerating barely, social media follows, and she's an influencer. But is she more valuable to the university than who's their quarterback this year, right?
I think she is. Honestly, I know her name. I don't know the quarterback.
More so to the university. So you think a bunch of dudes are going, hey, I'm going to LSU because Libby Dunn's there? Maybe.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, she's different, though. She's an outlier.
She is.
And she's been able to build her brand.
All right, what about Angel, the basketball player, the ring girl?
She is bringing a ton of value as well. I mean, women's basketball is growing, and she is part of that. So I think she does benefit that school a great deal.
Yeah. All right. I don't know how to put the value on it. And
yeah, and I'm with you on that. Like, how is Libby Dunn worth $3.5 million? Or I believe that's the number.
No, but she's getting it from a lot of different places. It's not just one. There's $500,000 here, and so she's endorsing a clothing line, and she's endorsing a makeup line, and whatever it is she's endorsing. But I think for her, in large respect, a lot of her money, DC is coming in the way NIL was intended to be. Here, make X number of mentions about my product, and I will compensate you for it. That's what influencers do, right? That's no different than anybody else. I don't know. All right, I'm not spending all day on this. I just want to get into it because I think this is something that's going to be really, really common conversation, and you're going to have a lot of it at over the next week of these media days. And I found it just such a bizarre thing that someone was actually saying, hey, let's go to Congress. Dan says should have to keep a 2.5 GPA better to receive money extension of the classroom. Yeah, I just don't see that coming. I just don't see that happening.
No, I don't see that either. Trying to tie in grades to money that seems unlikely to work.
I don't see it happening. All right, when we come back, the deadline came and went. Yesterday's deadline for franchise tag players came and went, and the state of running backs or the state of running back pay in the National Football League was only solidified. But it also just made the situations much more murky for a few really, really good backs. So what's next for the state of running backs, and specifically those 3 running backs, as we get set to report to camp today in the National Football League? It's next. Saquon, Josh Jacobs, and Tony Pollard on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. If you're
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with with green stuff. One scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough. Back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
No extensions for Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard. So what's next for three of the top running backs in the National Football League? We're going to get into that. 505-246-0610 is how you get here today. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta on the Sports Animal. Let's go to the phones. Grady, good morning. How you living? You're on the Sports Animal.
Franchise players of
right.
the OD and the AM. What's happening?
At least you understand that. What's good?
You know, I'm gonna channel my inner cynic this morning and comment on the NIL, and in particular, the commissioner of the SEC talking about how Congress needs to get involved. First of all, I don't believe for a minute that his primary concern is for the student athlete, for the equity, and blah blah blah. Not for 1 minute. Here's why. If the SEC wanted to, they could distribute some of that TV money that the figure starts with a B, and they could make it so every single athlete, not just football, not just basketball, that softball player, that golfer, that swimmer, they could make it so where every single one of those athletes gets a determined, regulated, set amount. And they could do it in such a way where, okay, this is a scholarship, stipend, aid, however they wanted to name it, whatever they wanted to do, they could make that happen. And the SEC has in the past, they've been the 800-pound gorilla in the room when there have been NCAA meetings. And so it's not like, well, the NCAA would balk at that. They would do whatever they told them to. So I'm a little skeptical about that as far as there are no options and they can't do anything. Second, getting Congress involved, that's a horrible idea. And, you just had a senator from Kentucky a few days ago talk about how he opining for the days of when he was watching basketball players that played for free, and he doesn't want to watch rappers playing basketball nowadays. So comments like that show that this issue has no place in the
very
halls of
detached. Somebody, with people completely detached from what you're doing.
Right. So it has, to me, do you want to share your TV revenue money or not? Because NIL was an apparent workaround because none of the conferences, none of the schools, no one had to share the real money.
Here's the deal.
And let's go back to the NIL deal. When it first kind of got going, it was my man Ed O'Bannon out of UCLA.
That's right.
Because they were playing video games with their hey, that's me. I'm not getting paid. And people were talking about I can go to the campus bookstore and buy my jersey, but I'm not getting paid. So universities, they've been profiting for a long time, and to think it's just a car dealership or this and that, that's not the case. And I'm sorry, but there are a lot of folks who are uncomfortable with young people making long dollars, and with no GPA attached to it. And you know what? It can be regulated. It can be done. They just don't have the will to do it. So miss me with this whole concern about the student thing.
I appreciate you. I'm going to address all that. Thank you, Grady. All right, a couple things. Part of what he says is correct. The SEC could take some of that money. Now, Greg Sankey can't do this by himself. He works for the presidents of the 16 institutions who are the membership that makes up the SEC. They could take part of that money and give a stipend to every softball player and swimmer and cross-country runner and football player. But that would not eliminate it where we are with NIL. See, because NIL is taken off. So while you could say, you know what, we get X number of dollars that start with $1 billion, and we're going to take however much money off the top, and every student athlete, if you're on a full scholarship that you're going to get, I'm just going to throw a silly number out, and it doesn't matter, but $30,000. If you're on a partial scholarship, you get $15,000, and think that's going to be done with it, and it's not, because NIL will still exist on top of that stipend. Right? That's where we've become in this world now. Like if you'd have done that 5, 10, 15 years ago, maybe we don't get to this point. But there's no stuff in this toothpaste back in the tube now. The genie's out, and so to Grady's point on SEC and miss me with that whole thing, you could give everybody a stipend, and I think they do at some point. There's a cost of living or cost of attendance stipend that everybody gets. This is on top of that. This is something that goes beyond that. Can the SEC regulate NIL? I don't believe they can, because you're operating in Alabama and South Carolina and Mississippi and Texas and Alabama and Tennessee and Kentucky, and they all have different state laws. So that's where he's calling for some sort of a inclusive help me out here, okay? I see where Grady's coming from, and I don't think he's wrong how we got to this point. I believe, though, we're beyond the point of you can just fix it by saying we're going to distribute some of the television money. The institutions have been making all the money, and now let the student athletes share in it. I just think we're beyond that now. Do you see where I'm coming from? He's right where, okay, sharing all that wealth, and we don't have this issue. Yeah, that would have been 5 years ago. But now that the NIL thing is out, okay, everybody would be getting their stipend, but how are we stopping this rampant NIL stuff, the promises that are being made, not fulfilled, this student athlete getting $1 million and this one getting nothing, and that equity, that guard, that's still going to exist. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense. And it's interesting because I also do see where he's coming from, but when you see a guy like LeBron James's kid, who's not even in college, getting $7.5 million.
Is that what he's getting?
$7.5 million
at SC, and he's not even there yet.
Not even there yet. So then the swimmer, the golfer, or someone else says, "Well, my $30,000, but I'm doing just the same. I'm actually in school. Why are you giving this high school kid $7.5?"
But so at some point you're gonna have to understand market value. LeBron's kid is worth more than your kid,
and that goes into the algorithm, and I get that.
Right.
But she has more followers. I mean, when you do look at the factors that are supposed to make this up, it's hard to see how he's making almost 3 times what she is.
It's not. I mean, if you take the algorithm, maybe, but I mean, it's not. Right? More than Livy Dunn is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even know LeBron's kid's getting $7 for what? Like, who's paying him?
The collective. Yeah.
To do what?
Say he's going to USC at this point.
I mean, and so what's that worth to? And that's where each collective's got to, and each whoever's running it, whether it's the school, the coaches all want to say, well, I mean, that's the collective. I don't know. I got to believe every coach is tied in with the collective. They're talking on a daily basis. I'm recruiting this kid from here. Can we get him $200,000? We're trying to get LeBron's kid. How much is it worth to the program? Can you get him $7.5 million? Look, at SC, the money flows in a hell of a lot easier than it does at the University of New Mexico, right?
True.
And there's much more streams of money. But I understand what Grady's point is. They've got billions of dollars that are coming in from television money. The institution now, part of that money goes to what these student athletes get and the luxury in which they live. I think we overlook that at times. Well, they're getting none of it. Well, but it's going to the facilities that are and the luxury and the life that these guys are living. But are they getting it directly in cash? No, they never have been in the past. Now, even if you're giving them a cost of attendance stipend, which I believe almost all of them are getting now, that $30,000 check doesn't mean anything, does it? When I can go out and make whatever it is. So I think we're talking, Grady, your point's right. I just think we're talking two different worlds. And if the SEC decided to divvy up a portion of their television money, that still does not regulate, rein in what not only the administrators, I think the players are kind of going, what the hell's going on with NIL? Now, the ones who are making the big dollars have no problem with it. But there are no rules. There are no stipulations. There are no guardrails. That's what Greg Sankey's saying. So I get the cynicism. And the cynicism comes from years of hypocrisy, whether reality or perceived hypocrisy. Right? I get that. But I just don't know that I think that's the answer because it doesn't address NIL. All right, I'll get into the running backs next. What does it mean? Where does this world go now with running backs? Does Congress got to get involved with running backs?
They might.
Are we going to Congress and saying running backs are paid higher only than kickers and punters? We've got collusion going on.
For now, there might be a point where kickers are making more.
It's the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
So the deadline is passed. Kind of weird that you can't negotiate anymore after this time, but that's just the rules. At least they got rules. Maybe Congress set that up. Not even sure. But the deadline is passed for players who have been tagged as franchise players in the National Football League by their respective teams to negotiate long-term deals until the end of the season. And that means that Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs and Tony Pollard, running backs all, are going to either play under the franchise tag this year or they won't play at all. And I guess that's an option. And there's a lot of people who are suggesting to Saquon, don't play. That $10.1 million, which, by the way, used to be a haul. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago where if you said, dude's playing, he got $10 million a year. Damn, dude, $10 million a year. Like, that used to be good gelt. right? That was considered, as the kids love to tell me today, the bag. That was stacks. Now it's like pittance. Now it's like, well, how am I supposed to eat on $10 million a year, right? But that's the market for running backs. Only kickers and punters are paid on an average in the National Football League more than running backs. Less than running backs. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and DC today on The Sports Animal. So, Le'Veon Bell came out this week, and I know I'm paraphrasing here, but basically he said he made a mistake and kind of apologized. Not even kind of. He apologized to Steeler fans for sitting out that year when he was in the same situation, right? And Le'Veon Bell never became Le'Veon Bell again. He sat out, became a free agent, went to the Jets, bounced around. You never, ever, ever, ever considered Le'Veon Bell again. And he missed out on that year, that bag. And what was that, $8 million, whatever he walked away from? I mean, it'd be in a hell of a position. I've told you this all the time. It would be wonderful to know what it feels like to be able to say, yeah, I'm good. I don't need your $10 million. Or basketball players that, I don't need your $250 million. I'm gonna get a better deal. Like, wouldn't it be something to know what that feels like to be able to say, yeah, no, I'm good?
Yeah, I'd like to know that feeling.
Okay, but we don't. So there's a lot of people who have cameras and microphones who are suggesting that Saquon Barkley and or Josh Jacobs, not necessarily Tony Pollard because he's already signed the offer, but Saquon and Jacobs have not signed the franchise tag, that they sit out this year and force the team to trade them. Do you think that's in their best interest?
No, I don't. I think what was in their best interest is to sign the tag because it only goes down from here. It's kind of interesting. Like, apparently Josh Jacobs was in the parking lot with Max Crosby ready to sign, but they couldn't get the deal right.
He was just waiting for it to get to a number, whatever that number was. I don't know what the number was, and evidently it was getting close. You know, Josh Jacobs is a really interesting one to me.
Totally.
Because of his background, right? And this is not a commentary on Josh Jacobs. I don't know him. He was comeback player of the year, or third in voting for comeback player of the year last year. He had a terrific year. He led the NFL in rushing yards, over 1,600 yards. He led the NFL in yards from scrimmage, over 2,000. He scored 12 touchdowns on the ground. He caught 53 passes. He had a tremendous year. Do you know his background? Do you remember his draft day story? I don't remember a lot of these draft day stories, but I remember his.
Yeah, he came. I believe he and his dad.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah. So he came from a rough upbringing and spent some time.
They were homeless. They lived in their car.
Yes.
He grew up extremely poor. Him and his dad and his brother lived in their car. Then he went to Alabama, and I don't know that correlates to anything, right? Again, this is not a commentary. And I'm not even sure how I think it would go, right? You would think $10 million a year for someone who grew up living in a car would be, wow. Now, the other side of that coin is I'm worth more than that, and I am not going to sign for less than I'm worth. And I appreciate that as well, right? If you firmly believe that your worth is here, and you are being offered significantly or even relatively below here, I absolutely appreciate the confidence and the standard that you're setting to not give your services away for less than you believe you're worth. But I think we've got to look at what do you believe you're worth and what market value is at your position. And sometimes you don't get to dictate that, right? Now, you may say, look, man, I'm one of the 3 best running backs in the league, and you might even be right. Okay? Who's the highest paid running back right now?
McCaffrey, $16 million.
All right. That's significantly higher than what this is. And then it's Derrick Henry at like 12? Something like that?
Kamara at 13.
Okay. I thought these guys would both get an offer in the area of 12. I did.
Saquon did.
Saquon did get an offer in the area of 12?
They said it was actually 13, but the guarantee wasn't high enough. So they adjusted and went down to like 11 or 12 with a higher guarantee, and he said no.
Yeah. I'm not going to sit around and talk about another guy's money and what he should take. I don't know anybody's situation. So what happens is you go from here. And this is what we get into is, should they sit out? And again, you got to do what's best for you. But I don't know that I see the situation where it's best to sit out, not make the $10 million. Believe that you're going to force the team to trade you. I don't know. If I'm the Giants, Saquon says, I ain't playing. Am I sending you somewhere? What am I getting for you right now that helps me? Where am I sending you? What helps me? Yeah, am I better with you? Yeah, I'm better with you. 100%. But where am I sending you? What am I getting the value? Well, you have nothing of value now and you're going to lose him. You're not going to tag him next year because the tag's going to go up and it's the second year. And I got Matt Breida and Eric Gray and Gary Brightwell behind him. So who's got the leverage, the Giants or the player?
It's definitely the team because so many people have a plug-and-play approach to running back. And so that's the thing that hurts them. The star running back is a thing of the past. And it's just tough for the guys who have been the star for so long and are now realizing that that's no longer a thing.
You think the Raiders, by the way, are wishing they exercised that fifth-year option on Josh Jacobs?
I would imagine.
Of course they are.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Of course they are. All right, Cowboys situation is a little different. So Tony Pollard and the Cowboys were talking a little bit. They didn't reach a long-term deal, and Pollard has agreed to play on the franchise tag. $10.1 million, 10.091 is what it is. He led the Cowboys in rushing last year. He's 26. He's entering his fifth season. I don't even know what I think he's worth, to be honest with you. I want to see Tony Pollard as a bell cow back, as an every down back. He's been really good as and he became he became A as opposed to the other guy being 1A last year, right?
Yeah.
Zeke became 1A. But I want to see when Zeke's not there, how does he carry the load? This is a weird testimony on running backs, but this is not going away anytime soon now. This is just kind of how it is on running backs. And whether you like it or not, more and more running backs are coming out, and they're frustrated. Derrick Henry, I'm with every running back that's fighting to get what they deserve. Saquon tweeted, it is what it is, right? Josh Jacobs, one healthy season, but I have every Raider record damn near, is what he said. So Derrick Henry, who's considered one of the best in the league, or is he kind of on the back end because he's upper 20s now?
Unfortunately, I think he is on the back end.
All right. Tweet from Derrick Henry. At this point, just take the running back position out of the game then. The ones that want to be great and work as hard as they can to give all of their organization just seems like it don't even matter. I'm with every running back that's fighting to get what they deserve. And then there's the theory. Draft a running back, play the running back. If he's good, franchise him one time, and then draft another one. That's what the league is decided they're doing. Christian McCaffrey tweeted yesterday, this is criminal. 3 of the best players in the entire league, regardless of position. Jonathan,
that's a stretch.
Yeah. Is it?
Regardless of position?
Well, what, a running back can't be one of the best players in the game?
Oh, they can, but it's not true. I mean,
Saquon, my issue with Saquon is, can he stay healthy?
All of them. I mean, really, Josh Jacobs said himself he only has one healthy year. So yeah, every running back you should be concerned about health.
Jonathan Taylor, Indianapolis Colts, responding. So this is all in response to Matt Miller. Matt Miller is a scout. Okay, he tweeted, "Draft a running back. 1, number 2, play the running back. ... If he's good. 3, franchise tag the running back one time, and then go back to 1 and draft a running back." And so all these running backs are responding to that. Jonathan Taylor says, quote, "If you're good enough, they'll find you. 2, if you work hard enough, you'll succeed. ... If you succeed, you boost the organization. And then, doesn't matter, you're a running back." Wow. Austin Eckler. San Diego. Yes, I said San Diego. I know where they play now. Chargers. Quote, this is the kind of trash that has artificially devalued one of the most important positions in the game. Everyone knows it's tough to win without a top running back, yet they act like we are discardable widgets. I support any running back doing whatever it takes to get his bag. Najee Harris, Pittsburgh Steelers, second-year running back. I agree with my running back brothers around the NFL. History will show that you need running backs to win. We set the tone every game and run through walls for our team and lead in many ways. The notion that we deserve less is a joke.
You know, I look at this and I piecing together maybe the last 10 years of running back. Ezekiel Elliott, I think, is the one that broke this system. He got that $60 million deal.
It fell off the table.
Yeah, and he's made almost $80 million. So these guys were in college looking at him like, I can get that back. Now they're realizing, oh yeah, there's an evolution of the game, and that's a thing of the past, because they saw Elliott had over 1,100 runs in his first 4 years. They ran him into the ground, and that's the nature of the position. So they're seeing the dollar signs, and I understand that, but like they didn't play it out to the end, and unfortunately now they're realizing that this is a position that's very replaceable.
Brandon Jacobs, former Giants running back. Running backs are needed. No position on the field is better. Your most explosive players by far. If the NFL won't respect them, get rid of the position. Running backs unite. I don't know what they're going to be able to do. And it's hard. I don't know. How is common NFL, like you're common's a bad word. How is NFL fan, like your dude, your guy who's drinking Bud Light, sitting at Buffalo Wild Wings on Sunday, watching 8 games and dripping wing sauce on his shirt. How's he feeling? Is he right? And that's their bread and butter. So how does he feel? Dude just got $10 million, and it's not good enough. How's he feeling? And I'm not sure I know the answer to that.
He's probably thinking, I'm going to find someone just as good on the waiver wire for my fantasy
100%,
team.
right?
Yeah, that's the reality of that position.
He's looking at who's back up, and I'm drafting Matt Breida. I'm getting a steal in the 6th round.
Absolutely.
I'm taking Matt Breida, and he's going to be just fine. Who's the number 2 running back on the depth chart for the Las Vegas Raiders? And find me, oh, look at what I'm doing. Dude, nobody even knows. I'm taking Zamir White in the 7th round. I'm stealing him. Right?
Absolutely.
I guess who all these guys that are angry, and I get them being angry. Like, what's it going to do for them? Nothing, right?
Absolutely nothing. And in fact,
because the business model's proven at the ownership level.
Absolutely. And it might actually even work against them, because then you're going to have GM saying, okay, I'm not even going to deal with you. I'm going to find that guy who played in the SEC last year, and I'm going to pay him $1 million, and I'm going to get virtually the same output because I have a good line.
3. He's making more in NIL right now in the SEC.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he's staying with the SEC.
Yeah. You might have to go a little bit deeper than that.
3.1.
Yeah. When we come back, we can continue this conversation. I know you got a lot of thoughts on it. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. If for some reason you are still paying a toll, Dante Martin, Lobo cornerback, is going to be with us at 9 o'clock. Going to talk to him about why he thinks Lobo football will make the turnaround this year. He's headed to Media Day. He'll be in Vegas tomorrow. When we come back, he is 35th, league-leading 35th home run of the year, why he is the best player in Major League Baseball. It's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by GeneratorFranchise.com.
Pitch. There's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No! That's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. It's upstairs, goes to the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, La Cueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As La Cueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman, quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch, and she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get 1 run back. That one sent on the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home. Got her! Whoa, what a play!
Next door or something. Not sure, but they came out here, and Ellison cracks an RBI out to left field. That's where you got to do it. 1 run, 2 run, and this game could very well be over. It's a play at the plate. It's sliding, and that will do it. The Rams walk off the La Cueva Bears. It's a 3-run batted in shot by Dean Ellison.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and
Symbieta. And DC today. JJ will be back next week. So he had another home run yesterday, 35th. He's leading Major League Baseball in home runs. He's one of the better pitchers in Major League Baseball. It's unprecedented the way he is pitched and hit at a high level. It's done. People tell me it's not been done since Babe Ruth. It's never been done. He's doing it better, more consistently, both of them, than Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth was kind of a pitcher now and then, but like what he's doing, and not that I remember Babe Ruth. I read about it. But last night he hit his 35th home run with a bat flip. Angels beat the Yankees. Do you watch games just to watch this guy? When you think about the best players, when I think of Gretzky, I used to watch him, or maybe even Alex Ovechkin for this generation in hockey, or I don't know, pick your great tennis player, whether it's Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal. Do you watch him? I know people just watch for Tiger. Did you watch games just to watch LeBron or Kobe? Do you watch just to see Tommy play, or Peyton Manning or whoever it was? Do you watch games with Ohtani just because, dude, that guy's different, I need to watch him play?
Absolutely. You bring up Peyton. I was a closet Colts fan for like 10 years because that guy, I just wanted to see every game. And Ohtani's the same thing. Like, every time he takes the field, something great could happen.
All right. So, what do you do if you're the Angels? You're like 5 games back of the wild card. You control his rights through the end of this season, and then he becomes a free agent. Everybody's telling you he's gone. Why would he stay there? If you're the Angels thinking, we're pretty good. We're in a big market, even if maybe you're not, but you are. You call yourself Los Angeles. You're in Orange County, but okay. You haven't won. You haven't been in the playoffs since he's been there. You got Mike Trout, but he's hurt. Like everybody's telling you you're a little bitty nothing, right? You're sitting there, and this is where the inner conflict comes if you're the Angels. What do I do? Do I just get rid of this guy? Do I take whatever I can get and go rent him to somebody for a playoff run, and then he's going to be a free agent, whether it's the Dodgers or the Astros or the Red Sox or the Yankees or whoever wants him, and take the biggest haul that I can get of prospects and rebuild myself and become just like everybody else again, like I've always been? Or do I think I can re-sign this guy? Phil Nevin is the manager of the Angels. He's with Shohei Ohtani every day. Quote from Phil Nevin: "Everything he does is calculated to be the best player in the world for the purpose of winning. Everything else that comes along with that is great, but he wants to win in the worst way. This has been frustrating for him in the last 2 weeks, as it's been for everybody, but you can see it on him. He wants to win. He wants to win here." End quote. Is it possible, and this is never talked about, and maybe it's never talked about because it's not possible, but is it possible that the Angels have talked to him and or his people, and maybe he does want to stay there? Maybe that they can give him the 300 or what am I hearing, $600 million contract?
Yeah, it's been very consistently over 500.
I mean, sometimes we throw numbers around. It's just insanity, right?
It truly is.
It just boggles the mind. JJ and I have this conversation, and he gets numb to it, and I'm like, at some point, is there a breaking point on salaries, right? I never thought we'd be sitting around saying $10 million for players, pittance, but we are, right? Basketball players are making $60 million a year to play an 82-game schedule in which they play 60 games. $1 million a game.
That is unreal.
Right? And it's just going to get bigger. So is it possible that they know something that nobody else knows? It's not, is it? I mean, imagine, right? They're the ones who have the relationship with him, with his camp, with his people. But is it possible that they know something, that he wants to stay there? Maybe he likes living in Newport Beach. Who doesn't?
I would say it's not impossible. Honestly, like, they knew this was coming, so they should have been on it probably for the last at least year, probably two.
Certainly.
So if you really are trying to save that relationship, I would say yes, they probably do know something.
Does common sense say you get rid of him and take the haul and rebuild your club? Or does common sense say, I got the best player that we've seen in, I mean, maybe ever, and I can't be the guy that trades him? Well, the other side of common sense then says, well, yeah, you're an idiot because there was no way he was coming back. I mean, there's a part of me that keeps saying to myself, they've got to know something. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I think Artie Moreno's a great owner. He spends money. That doesn't make him a great owner. What have they done? Part of being a great owner, I think you need to be willing to spend money. But so do you understand where I'm coming from? They've got a relationship with this guy over X number of years. Is he frustrated that they're not winning? I got to believe he is, yes. But it's not like he's not winning and living in the middle of pick your market that's not desirable. I'm not going to go bag on someone else, right? He's living in Orange County. He's making a bunch of money. He owns the world, basically. I keep looking at this, and I think they're not going to trade him. The more I think about it, I think the Angels will not trade him.
That is interesting. I kind of think back to the Carlos Beltran deal when he got traded from the Royals in 2004.
To the Angels. Or not. Oh, no,
I'm
sorry.
Astros.
I'm thinking of a different deal. I was thinking of a different deal. Yeah.
But they had the same dance going on where they knew he was this incredible prospect. Right. They wanted to keep him, but they didn't know what to do, and finally they traded him. And I think that is what common sense does, is you got to get the most you can. But if you're a gambler and you want to go all the way with it, I mean, I can hear that argument as well, because...
Well, wouldn't you be having a conversation right now with him and his people? Like this is fair. Hey, so we want you here. Where do you want to be? Well, I want to win. So do we. Okay? We want to win. We're as frustrated as you are. If the answer is, I've been here for however long and we're not winning, I need to be somewhere else. Then you trade him. Right? But I think you have a conversation, sit him down with his camp and just say, okay, like can we just put all our cards on the table here? We want you to be here. We're willing to pay you whatever it is. We'll match the Yankees, whatever. $600 million, fine. Over pick your number. Right here's the check. Write it. We want you here. Do you want to be here? Well, I want to win. I want to get this. I want to look what the Padres are doing down south of here. How come they keep getting players? And well, they're not winning either, by the way. If you look at baseball right now, the highest payroll teams aren't winning.
Mets.
All of a sudden, you got the Orioles and the Rays and the Reds sitting in first place, and the Diamondbacks winning, and the Mets and the Red Sox and the Yankees aren't. Right? So you can't just go out and buy it. It's not that simple. But you've got to have that conversation, right? I mean, if you've got that advantage over everybody else, you've got the relationship, you've got him in your room.
Yeah, you have to have that conversation every day, really.
Every day, right? And if the answer is, guys, I want to win, I need to change. I got to go. Then you start shopping them, you get the biggest haul you can get. But if the answer is, and it's like, hey, be honest with us. Like, if we got to protect ourselves, we've tried to be good to you, like, help us out here. If you're going to be gone, let me put you on a contender. You can go to the playoffs this year, right? We'll put you somewhere where you're going to go win. You have a chance to win not only this year, but then you can go be a free agent and go wherever you want. We'll put you in that situation. But we want you here. If you want to be here, give me an idea, and we'll make it work. I mean, it's not like he's living again in some crummy spot. I mean, he's probably living in Newport Beach or in Mission Viejo or somewhere like gorgeous, right? Probably look where he's living.
Yeah, it's hard to upgrade from there. So, and as we discuss this, to me, it seems like it's no longer even about the money. When he talks about
he's going to get the money no matter where he goes.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, he's got the bag. That's not even a question anymore. So it's now we need to know how important is winning. You can say I want to win. Everyone says that, but how truly important is it? And if that is the number one thing, then what are the Angels going to do before the trade deadline to try and do that for him?
Yeah, I got to believe they're having this conversation and sitting it down and just saying, okay, you want to be here or not? Be honest with us. And that's not asking too much, a little honesty from him.
No, that's not. I think that's actually very fair.
If you want to go, we'll put you in a situation this year to win now, and then you can figure it out wherever you want to go. But if you want to be here, talk to us, and we'll give you load the bag as much as you want to put in the bag. 505-246-0610. If you're the Angels, what do? You got the best player you've seen since, I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen anybody better. You got the best one. What do you do? Because it's now time you got to make a decision. You got an alarm at your business. You've installed security cameras at home. It's not enough. I hate to tell you that, but it's just not. But you probably already know that. Aaron Jones started International Protective Service, IPS, back in 2006. It's affordable private security. I've trusted IPS to watch my home for years. Don't wait to be a victim of vandalism and theft. IPS offers you standing guards and 24-hour patrols. They'll protect your home and protect your business. They respond quickly to alarms. They prevent loss and damage to property. It's private security that can save you money. If your alarm goes off, they're there within 5 to 7 minutes with trained armed security personnel. Call them, see what they can do for you. Don't wait to be a victim. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or go to ipsglobal.com. IPS, making Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust. and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who...
Against the best labor man, warehouse workers, mailmen, and fishery workers available. Ohtani's playing against actual ball players. Yes, back in the day, players had other jobs because they weren't making... Well, I can't live on $10 million a year. How can I do that? 505-246-0610. David, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, David.
Hello. A lot of people criticize the money as being beyond recognition and comprehensible totals, yet it's obviously a percentage of money. Raising the fact that Ohtani and Trout at the Angels have attracted attention, and it's always questionable whether or not the money that they're paid is worth it. But then they'd say, well, that's the market value, and we're getting a percentage of television revenue, so we can afford it. What I'm getting to, that said, is ultimately people think that there should be a floor, a minimum spend on teams to then make the low-performing teams like the Athletics and Pirates of years past do actually good. And yet, to my mind, that would ultimately just mean they would spend more money. They wouldn't necessarily ultimately do well. That said, my biggest reason for calling is how do players technically travel through and transfer within the Major League Baseball, like Cole to the Yankees from the Astros? I think Ohtani would go best to Seattle. I guess the basic question is what makes them a valuable fit for the team? Because Trout and Ohtani at the Angels, I think, have been overpaid. I wouldn't have paid them. I mean, the best thing the Angels can do now is make the playoffs to then have any strength. If they don't make the playoffs, I think all is off.
I appreciate it, David. Thanks. So, okay. So the question was, what's the route? I mean, there's a free agent route. And I agree Seattle's a really interesting destination for him. I guess I got lost with the question. The minimum salary... I was just looking this up. DC, were you under the assumption there was a salary floor that the team that teams had a minimum salary that a team had to spend? Like $720,000 is the minimum salary in Major League Baseball. But I don't know where the floor is. He said he thinks Trout and Ohtani are overpaid. Markets will dictate where we go, and it's not all television money. Have you been to a ballpark?
Yeah, there's a lot of money, and you're right. It's not all television, and
there's a lot of it is. I mean, percentage-wise, it's television money that's dictating. But I mean, you've been to a ballpark, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's money coming from all the brands at Adidas, Nike, all them.
Well, but just your hot dogs and your beer and your ticket sales. I mean, it used to be. I remember when the Padres used to do $1 Wednesday. They used to play day game Wednesday, Thursday, whatever it was, and like have $5 tickets or the $1 beers. And I mean, those days are gone, man.
You can get a $4 ticket at the Rocky Stadium right now.
Can you really?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's the outfield seating.
That's fine.
It's awesome. Is really what it is. But it's, that's not going to pay for Ohtani.
Well, that's the kind of stuff that does it. That's where the Dell Technologies Club pays for it at Fenway Park, and the suites and the Diamond Club at Nationals Park, and all that stuff is. Or $100 parking at Dodger Stadium. $100 parking, bro.
Isn't that something? I remember the first time I heard about that at Cowboy Stadium, and I was floored.
So this has to be 10, 12 years ago. I told this story. People were complaining here. Parking used to be free here forever. And then they started with $5 parking. I think parking is $12 here now. And people started losing their mind about parking. And I went to, when New Mexico Bowl was, when we were affiliated with Pac-12, I went to the USC-UCLA game at the Coliseum over Thanksgiving. So I did get a credential, and I did have parking. But we passed a couple of lots. How much I said to people, how much do you think the lot at the Coliseum for USC-UCLA parking was? Right? How much do you think?
$50.
It was $100. $100. And I'm told when I go to SoFi next month for that concert, be ready for that, right?
Oh yes, yes.
And I'm like $100. And I brought that story back here. No way. These were the people who complained at the time about $5 parking. But that's where it goes. But anyway, I mean, that all of that. I don't know where the ceiling is. I don't know where. I keep saying, and I've said it for years, there's got to be a breaking point, right? How much is the consumer willing to pay? And how much, where is, and there isn't a ceiling, right? I mean, it's going to go up and up and up and up and up, and player salaries are going to go up. And the next generation of players, you're going to have these guys who are making $40 million a year in basketball going, gosh, I wish I was playing today, making $80 million a year. You mean you only made $40 million a year playing basketball? I mean, I'm not making that kind of money.
Tough life.
I mean, it's, to his point, I don't know, market value is what market value is. The market will sustain what the market can sustain. But it's crazy. When we get back, Conference USA put out their basketball schedule and where the Aggies are. And it sounds like Lobo Aggie basketball is going to happen, although the dates may not be in stone just yet. Where, when can you watch Lobos and Aggies, and what's the latest with that? Aggie fan, your rivalry games may both be when school is not in session, which really cuts down on your crowds. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
"2014 was a wild year and the OD was buzzing. What's in a name? When it's a building so many people love a lot. After the Pit underwent a $60 million facelift, the unthinkable happened. A corporate name.
With the Lobo Howl in Wise Pies Arena, aka The Pit.
Wise Pies Arena, aka The Pit, and man, y'all lost your minds. Outside of broadcast, no one wanted to say AKA when talking about their beloved basketball arena. Now, the Hoops weren't much better that year as fans began to realize year 2 under Craig Neal was not heading in the right direction. After 3 straight NCAA tournament appearances for the Lobos, UNM finished that year 15-16 overall, 7-11 in Mountain West play, and there was not enough pizza to drown away the feelings. of that year. Unfortunately, the year was dominated by student-athlete issues, a hazing scandal for UNM women's soccer, a brawl for New Mexico State men's basketball at Utah Valley, football and basketball players in trouble. My goodness, too many players in a police blotter. Another chapter in the legacy of LeBron James.
I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home.
The hot take went back home after the San Antonio Spurs defeated the Heat in the NBA Finals, ending the Kings' 4-year run in Miami. While the Cavs won with their GOAT coming home, the sports world continued to hold not one, not two, not three against LBJ. Former Ice Up sketcher Miguel Olivo bit off more than he could handle in a unthinkable story for local sports fans. Olivo got into a dugout scuffle with Alex Guerrero and bit off a piece of Guerrero's left ear. Olivo never played another game for the Topes. A federal lawsuit over a mascot, the jokes were flying as Oklahoma State tried to get New Mexico State to stop using the Pistol Pete mascot. In a messy year, how about a feel-good story on the way out? The captain, Derek Jeter, hitting a walk-off single in his final at-bat at Yankee Stadium.
15 years and 15 days is brought to you by All In Autographs, Albuquerque's premier sports memorabilia and collectible destination.
The boys are judging Iron Chef at the Chili's by Cottonwood Mall. It's not a lie. Straight into baseball talk after that. It's 2 Men On every single weekday at 4 o'clock.
Well, looks like Lobo Aggie basketball is going to happen this year twice. Looks like the home-and-home rivalry is going to be. It's not inked yet. The Journal had reported dates. Richard Pitino said yesterday that the December 2nd date in the Pit and December 16th at the Pan Am Center have not been signed contracts, but they're working on it. And so it sounds like they've got it agreed to. For New Mexico State, it's a little bit of a bummer. And I know they're trying, everybody loves Saturday nights, right? Now, the 14 and 2 is 6, so those will both be Saturday nights. The December 16th night would be same night as New Mexico Bowl. I'm much rather be down in Las Cruces than be at the Pit, so I'm appreciative of that. Thank you to them for working with us on scheduling. I know New Mexico State would like to be in New Mexico Bowl. That would be a bummer for everybody if it's the same night. But for New Mexico State, school's out, and the Conference USA schedule just came out, and they play. New Mexico State opens up their first ever Conference USA game. Will be at home against UTEP, their other rival, Saturday, January 6th. So they get a Saturday, but school's not back in. So they both of their rivalry games at home, their two big gates, will both be when students are on break, which is such a bummer for them. If, in fact, they can't find another date to play against New Mexico. And I don't know that UNM is going to be all that accommodating. I don't know where we are with this. I mean, everybody, you got to fit into schedules, and New Mexico State is much more reliant on their student section being there than UNM is. But I'm looking at the Conference USA schedule that came out. New Mexico State will open up against UTEP on a Saturday, then go to Florida International. Boy, you got travel in that league, dude. Home against UTEP, then 5 days later at Florida International, then you come home for Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee, and then do a little Texas run, and then you got to go back east to play Liberty and Jacksonville State. That's travel partners. Liberty's in Virginia, Jacksonville State's in Alabama. But I guess the good part of the story is you get your rivalry. You will get your rivalry that they are going to play. As of now, they've got it December 2 and December 16th. Saturday nights, first in the Pit, second in Las Cruces. All right, when we come back, let's talk a little Lobo football. Dante Martin's going to be with us. He is a senior cornerback, defensive back at the University of New Mexico. He's going to Vegas for Media Day. Why does he believe it's going to be the year the Lobos turn it around? What is different? You're going to meet one of the Lobos' best players next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Come on,
it's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, we'll be in Vegas tomorrow. Opening drive will come to you from the Circa, brand new. Well, it's relatively brand new. It's where Mountain West is hosting Media Day tomorrow, and the conference players and coaches will gather along with the media, and Commissioner Nevadas will speak tomorrow morning, and looking forward to being there. It's really the kickoff of football season for so many of you. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta. JJ will be there, but he's off this week. And Dante Martin will be there for UNM, along with Dylan Hopkins, the quarterback who was in last week. And it's a lot of questions, a lot of things. But I want to introduce you to Dante. And a lot of the preseason all conference teams are coming out, and Dante's all over all of them, whether it's Phil Steele or Mountain West Wire or wherever they are. And but he's going to be asked a lot of questions about himself and about the team. And so I wanted you to meet him first. And so Dante Martin joins us this morning on The Sports Animal. Good morning, Dante. How you living?
I'm doing good this morning. Doing good. Excited to be here.
Well, I appreciate you spending some time with us. So you ever done Media Day before? Is Frank kind of briefed you on what to expect? Are you looking forward to this? How are you going into this?
This is my first time doing it, and Frank really didn't tell me much about it yet.
Damn it, that's his job.
I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, that's his job. He's supposed to brief you on this, isn't he?
Yeah.
I guess it starts off with this, and they'll lobby some softballs. And why is UNM going to be better this year? And I know you've been here for a while. You've been through some downs. You've been through some ups. Talk about why you firmly, and I know you do, firmly believe this is going to be a breakthrough season.
I could see the offense developing a lot better. You could just see by, even with the spring ball, you can see by the plays that they have drawn up, their scheme behind our new offensive coordinator, and then our defense is becoming more of a solid piece too. Obviously, we lost guys, but you could always replace people too.
There was so much made about the Rocky Long defense, and Coach Long is now gone, and you played for him. I want you to briefly talk a little bit about A, playing for Rocky Long and what that was like, and B, now not having him and how you think the defense reacts and grows with his absence.
Playing when he was coaching here, he's very an intense coach, I guess you could say, and you can feel his energy all the time. Very intense person, but also with him being gone, it's the same. My bad, Frank just texted me, he kind of distracted me, but it's the same calls with Coach Reffett and Coach Gonzalez. So it's you're not missing a beat, really.
Yeah, you the defense was good last year. How do you stop from getting frustrated? I know on teams it can be fractured when the offense isn't scoring. Coach Gonzalez has said, look, if we can score, 21 points a game, we can win games. The defense played well enough to win last year. The offense, I mean, you don't have to say it, I will, didn't pull its weight. How do you guys keep from having a fractured locker room? Or did it get to that point?
I don't think it really got to that point. For me, it really wasn't an issue because I want to be on the field anyways. That's more film for me, more film for NFL scouts to see and all that.
Yeah.
So it never really bothered me at all because when I came in my first season as a redshirt freshman, my first game I had over almost 100 snaps. So it didn't really matter to me, honestly. It doesn't bother me at all. I just take it as an opportunity to do something else on the field, get an interception, turn the game around, anything like that.
Yeah, Dante Martin, Lobo defensive back, is with us. He's on his way to Vegas for Media Day this week, and Lobos are going to open up camp here in a few weeks. You're a bad man. You did something that I don't know most humans can do. So in the UNLV game last year, you missed one play, come back in, and afterwards you get diagnosed with a punctured lung. You missed 3 games and come back for the rest of the season. Dude, like one play with a punctured lung. I don't think most people know what that feels like. What does a punctured lung feel like?
When it happened to me, like when I was on the ground, I couldn't breathe at all. I was like, am I okay? So I got up, I jogged off to the sideline. The trainer said I probably just had like the wind knocked out of me or something like that. But I went back out there. I felt like a slight pain, but I was like, whatever. Pain is temporary, so I just got over it. And yeah.
What was the hit, Dante? What, like the hit? Did you just get a helmet to the chest? Like, what was the hit? Was it different than any other hit you've ever taken?
So the running back had came out to the flat, and I went down to tackle him. I already had tackled him, but our linebacker Cy Riley, he had came from the side and hit me from the side, and that's what did it. So I was like, it felt like right when I got hit, I could feel it like right away. I was like, ooh, it felt different. It felt a lot different, but I didn't think anything of it at the time, though.
Friendly fire is what took you out. That's kind of crazy. So after the game, you're still feeling it. How did you get diagnosed? When did you get diagnosed? And when they tell you, all right, dude, you got a punctured lung, that's got to be a crummy reaction.
Sunday, because apparently I wasn't supposed to like fly with like a punctured lung back, but nobody knew at the time. So I found out Sunday when I went into the training room after to get recovery and all that.
They do an MRI, or how do they figure that out? I mean, it's X-ray, MRI. What they do?
Apparently, you could see. So I took an X-ray of my chest, and like you could see like the left side of my body looked fine, like the lung, but the right side looked like it was like decayed a little bit. Or I guess you could say like went down.
You could see it in the X-ray, like with the untrained eye. You were able to see that.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
that's crazy.
He had showed it to me. I was like, you can see like a black gap where my lung is supposed to stand all the way out to.
So what do you do? Is rest the only thing for to heal a punctured lung? Like what was rehab? Because you came back, you only missed 3 games and came back for the final month of the season.
So at first they just had me like on an oxygen tank before I had to get the surgery. They did that to see like if it would go all the way back out, but it didn't. So I had to get the surgery. Then I sat in like the hospital for like 3 days.
Damn.
And then I had, I think it was like 3 weeks of like nothing. Then I came back. They made me do a lot of conditioning during practice and all that. And then I was back to normal. I was like, at the end of the season, I could feel like my body like wearing down a little bit, but yeah, that was about it.
That's insane. He's Dante Martin, Lobo defensive back, with us on These Sports Animals. How are you feeling now?
I feel wonderful now. I feel the best I ever felt in my career so far.
Is that right? All right.
Yeah, I gained like 10 pounds. I feel good.
Good for you. Well, you mentioned NFL, and here you are using your super senior season because you get granted that because of the COVID season. And you got an opportunity now to really excel. You're in a defense that gets a lot of attention. You're going into a year where I know this is a big year for you. Talk about aspirations and what you've done maybe differently this year as opposed to other years headed into your final season of college football.
Okay, so the way I started off, like I'll start from the beginning of my career. So I was a freshman, and they had me like when I was just sitting the bench and I wasn't really playing much. Like my whole freshman group, we worked out like 2 times a day with each other always. So then I just went back to that routine just by myself because like they're all gone now. So I just started working out by myself 2 times a day. Jump roping, working on calisthenics, all that, just to build up more speed, gain more muscle, all that.
It's a big year, and so you said you feel as good as you ever have. What's your role in this defense as a cornerback? I've said to people over the years, and I firmly believe this. Quarterback there's so much going on, right? Quarterback on the offensive side. I think physically, cornerback might be the most challenging position in football. You're on an island, one-on-one. The dude you're defending knows where he's going. You don't. The rules are all stacked against you as a cornerback, right? Every rule they put in there is never to help the defensive guy. How have you watched this position evolve over the years and for you to get better? Because I think it is one of the most specialized and difficult positions in the game, if not the most.
Yeah, honestly, it just starts with the mentality that I bring to the field. Every time I come on the field, I be thinking to myself, I don't want nobody to catch the ball in front of me, even if it's like a slant or a 5-yard hitch. Like I still want to make an impact on that ball right there and then. But I guess you could say my role on the defense, I'm more of a silent leader. I like to lead from example most time, and when I see someone make a mistake, I'll coach them up on it. But I'm not more of like the type to yell at you and try to embarrass you on the field, but I'll pull you to the side and coach you up.
Yeah, in this league, man, you're seeing some receivers, and over the years, you've seen some. And this year, I mean, I just look at what Colorado State has every year, and Torrey Horton's supposed to be special. Ricky White at UNLV is going to be really good. I mean, you're going up every year and really every week, right, in this league against guys who I'm watching in the pros now. Guys who've come through this league. I mean, whether it's Romeo Dobbs, who I know you've played against, to get all kinds of guys. This league's got some talent, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, so it for sure has some talent. You got to be on your A game every time you step on the field. Every play, every second, every down.
Yeah, it's something. All right, talk to Lobo Fan real quick, Dante, and I'll let you go here, and I'll see you in Vegas. But talk to Lobo Fan a little bit about why they should be excited. I know you are. Coach Gonzalez has been in here talking about it, but you're on this field every day. I think Lobo Fan believes in the defense, although I've heard, well, they've lost so many players, and are they going to be able to replace them? You're against that offense on a regular basis. You've seen what's going on. Tell Lobo Fan why it's going to be different.
I see the offense making a lot of explosive plays, bringing a lot of excitement for the crowd to be able to watch, and also, why would you not come out a lot of new faces that you can see, get to know, all that? Might as well support no matter what.
You know, I look at some of the transfers where they're coming from, and it doesn't matter to me that they're coming from a TCU or wherever. Can they play? And I watch guys. But everybody that I've talked to who's been out to practice, who I trust, the people I trust, it's a different level of talent. Do you feel that?
Oh yeah, for surely. You could see how everybody's flying around on the field, everything. It's exciting to see too.
Yeah, you excited to start? How's camp? Nobody loves camp, right? But it's the start of something you love. How do you approach camp? Because nobody loves training camp.
Yeah, fall camp, and you could ask anybody, fall camp is a grind, and it's sun up, sun down. You in that facility, you're gonna nap in the facility, go home. You're not gonna want to do nothing when you go home. You're gonna go straight to sleep, but you love it. It's a game that you love.
Yeah, it's the game you love, and knowing that this could be, right? I mean, I know you want to play in the NFL and you want to play after this, but knowing that this could be your last season that you ever play, do you go into it with a different appreciation of the game?
I go with the same appreciation, I guess you could say. I think like that even since my first year, because you never know if you can get injured and have like a career-ending injury or anything like that. So I always had the same mentality.
Yeah,
nothing ever changes it.
Yeah, I think what you're leaving people with is, man, what does a punctured lung feel like, right? Have I ever had a puncture? I got hit, but man, does it feel different? Yep, it feels different. Go get checked if it feels a little different. Hey, appreciate the conversation. Safe travels to Vegas. I'll see you out there tomorrow. But thank you for spending some time with us today.
All right, I appreciate you having me on your show.
All right, be well. Dante Martin, Lobo All-Conference cornerback. I'm just telling you, dude, I've never had I don't think I have ever had a punctured lung. First of all, that sounds miserable.
That was unreal. And the way he just so casually described it, like it was no big deal.
Yeah, I got, Cy came over and he hit me, and so he took some friendly fire. Went off the field. I couldn't really breathe for a minute.
Flew home.
Missed one play. Finished the game. Flew home. Came in on Sunday. Said, "Yeah, it's still kind of, I don't know, it's still kind of weird right here." Oh, dude, you got a punctured. What? And you could see it on right with the untrained eye. You can see it on the X-ray.
That is wild.
Dude's a stud.
Yeah, he is. I'm going to be rooting for him. I'll tell you that for sure.
Dude's a stud, and he's got an opportunity to do something really cool. As Lobo football kicks off here against Texas A&M, then Tennessee Tech, then the Aggies, I know, it's weird, and I say this every year. I'm looking forward to because I love college football, but I'm excited because it feels like in DC, I'm always the guy. I don't get high on press clippings. Oh, he came from TCU and he came from Oklahoma and he came from. I want to see the guy play, but everybody that I trust that has seen this team work out tells me that it's a different caliber athlete. And my answer is, well, it needs to be, right? For Lobo football, and Danny and I have talked about this a lot, they needed playmakers, especially on offense. They needed to find playmakers, and it sounds like they have. And I believe defense will be good because I've watched this defensive system work for over 2 decades at different places, whether it's here, San Diego State, Arizona State, wherever it is. So I believe the defense is going to be good enough to win, and if they can score some points, maybe we can have an exciting football season, and that's what I'm looking forward to. So you can respond to what Dante Martin had to say at 505-246-0610. Hope you enjoyed that. That's a heck of a story by that young man. 505-246-0610. When we come back, DeAndre Hopkins went to Tennessee, the Titans. Did he go for the bag or did he go for the best opportunity to win? Did he go for the right reasons? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality.
The Sports Animal.
I was just looking at some of the pre-conference or preseason all-conference teams in the Mountain West. I was looking at the Mountain West connection. Boise State may be good. You got the first-team quarterback in Taylon Green, both first-team running backs, both of them. Now, granted, they're not worth what everybody else is worth, maybe more than a punter and a kicker, but I'm kidding. But Ashton Genty and George Holani, both first-team. They got 2 first-team offensive linemen. Like, they could be really good, huh?
If you have 2 first-team offensive linemen, you should be good.
You should be good. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm looking forward to this. It's different every year. They mixed it up, and media days are it's hoopla. It's like the big preseason party, right? It's look at us. It's promoting your league and what you do. It's what it's supposed to be. I'm looking forward to it.
I would be too. I must admit, I'm a little jealous. I don't mind skipping Vegas in the middle of summer.
Yeah, it's gonna be 114, dude.
Yeah. I'm good missing that, but you're right. I bet it's such a fun party.
Well, it's interesting. It's been relationships. It gives you a pretty good feel of what the league's going to be, and everybody had a great summer, and everybody worked hard, and everybody's got a great staff, and everybody loves the recruiting class, and everybody loves what their kids, and it's kind of the Mike Tyson. Everybody's got a plan until you get hit in the mouth, right? And I come back, just go, wow, they're going to be really good. Oh, they're going to be really good. I really like this guy. It is what it is. All right, big news all over the weekend in the NFL. One of the biggest, probably the biggest name. DeAndre Hopkins, bigger name than Dalvin Cook on the free agent market.
Yeah, they're about the same.
All right. So one of the 2 biggest names that were still on the free agent market in the National Football League, DeAndre Hopkins agreed to a 2-year deal that could be worth up to $15 million in the first year with the Tennessee Titans. And I think a lot of people shook their head. Why there? Well, I think first and foremost, that was the most lucrative deal on the table for DeAndre Hopkins. It's base salary of $12 million. It could go up to $15 in the first year. And he put out a photo of him and Derrick Henry, the running back of the Titans, on Instagram. And people are really kind of ripping DeAndre Hopkins. Why would you go there? And he said, I always loved having haters and doubters, but I appreciate it even more now. Tighten up. Did he make the right decision? Did he go to the right place? In DC, I don't know where else he was considering. There was talk that it was New England a lot. There was a lot of talk of New England. And there was a lot of talk, a little talk about Kansas City, but they couldn't afford him. He couldn't have gotten this deal. So where was he going to go? And I thought he was going to end up in New England. I did. I thought he would go there, and then Dalvin Cook might end up there, and they all of a sudden contend. People love to rip on Ryan Tannehill, and I understand. Ryan Tannehill is an average quarterback in the NFL. Is Mac Jones any better? People are telling me he should have gone to New England. They have a better chance. You can't win at Tennessee. Well, I'll argue with you all day that I got a better chance to go to the playoffs in Tennessee than I do in New England. Why? Because my division is Jacksonville, who's the favorite, and while I think they're better than Tennessee right now, I don't think they're much better. And I think Houston's bad, and Indianapolis is not very good with an absolute question mark at quarterback. So I can get through the AFC South a hell of a lot better than I can get through the AFC East with Buffalo, Miami, and the Jets. Right? Are you going to absolutely sit here and convince me, because you're not, but I don't think you convince yourself, that you know that Mac Jones is a better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill? Do you know that?
No.
Not a chance, right? Now, there's a chance he is, but there's no chance you know that definitively right now.
You're right. Right now, there's no way.
So I'm DeAndre Hopkins. I'm going to go there. I'm going to be the number 1 guy in Tennessee. I'm going to play for Mike Vrabel as opposed to Bill Belichick. Okay. I'm going to a place that has won relatively recently, run to the point where they've been to an AFC championship game, not won a Super Bowl. And I'm getting a bigger bag. And I'm 31 years old and I'm running out of time. So let me load up on as big of a stack as I can. I don't think you're going to the Super Bowl in New England or Tennessee. Okay? And so if that's my options, if those are my only 2 options, And I don't know where else he was going. I mean, everybody's telling me, oh, he should have gone to Buffalo. He should have gone here. I don't, am I taking significantly less? If I can make 12 to 15 in Tennessee and I can make 6 to 8 in Kansas City or Buffalo, well, yeah, I can win in Kansas City or Buffalo, but I'm 31. I don't know. That's double or more. And I get 2 years. I don't think he made the wrong decision if those were his options. I don't know what they all were, but what I'm hearing were his options. Good for D-Hop to go out and get his stacks of money and go do his thing, and he's going to be a number one receiver.
Yeah, I look at that, and I do see the South as being wide open, and the Titans could definitely take it. The Jaguars are good, but they've only really done it 1 year, so I can.
And they only did it kind of at the back end of last year, right?
It was like the last 4 games they made a little run. So I can see the logic behind the Titans. They have some good pieces. They've won recently, and Nashville's an awesome city. So
it's a great city. They got a good defense, right? They've got a great running back. Again, I need you to win a game this weekend. As of right now, you want Mac Jones, you want Ryan Tannehill?
I'd take Tannehill.
Boy, it's a tough one because I've seen him in big games. but he's won. I'm not telling you Ryan Tannehill's great. He's not.
Do you put him in that 8 to 20 range that we were talking about yesterday?
On the back end of it.
Yeah, I do too. What about Mac Jones?
It's hard for me to put him in there.
Yeah, see, I put him under 20. But PFF puts him at 25, and I think that's pretty accurate.
Where's PFF got Ryan Tannehill?
20.
Yeah, and that's the back half of that. If you're going to tell me who do I have as the bottom, there's 32 quarterbacks in the NFL, 32 starters. I mean, I'd have to say Washington's guy, Sam Howell, because I know nothing about him, would be at the bottom. I know let me guess. Do you have PFF in front of you? If I said the bottom 5 quarterbacks in the league.
And this is from last year.
So Sam Darnold's not in there. Sam Howell's not in there. Is that right? Because I'm just looking at the current quarterback situations in the NFL.
Sam Darnold was 31.
All right. And who was last? Was it
Davis Mills?
All right, that's fair, but their situation's a little bit better because they upgraded with a rookie. But I if you ask me the worst 5 quarterback situations in the NFL right now, I would probably go Washington one because I don't know anything about Sam Howell, and I think it's a complete unknown there. I'm gonna put. I have no faith in Baker Mayfield to be a long-term solution anymore. I have no faith in Russell Wilson to be a long-term solution anymore. No, seriously. Who's starting for? Is it Colt McCoy starting for Arizona?
Correct.
I mean that doesn't feel very good to me.
Not at all.
Sam Darnold?
Yeah, that's not one I would.
I mean, I kind of like Sam Darnold, and I'm glad he's getting this opportunity. And if he wasn't on the Niners, I'd be rooting for him. But I can't root for the Niners. Are those the 5? And well, Indy, man, Indy's got to be an absolute question mark.
Yeah, that is one that stands out because everyone has great things to say about the guy, but who's he throwing it to? You know, who Jonathan Taylor's back, that's great, but their line.
I don't know that I think everybody's saying great things about him in the immediate. Like everything I hear is he's raw, he's got to grow into it. You're going to have to give him time. Who's he throwing to? Is it Michael Pittman?
Yep.
I like Michael Pittman.
Yeah, but he's a 2.
I agree with that too. So who are the 5? I mean, the bottom 5 quarterbacks. Who would you say the bottom 5 quarterback situations in the NFL right now?
I think you kind of hit that one on the head.
What about Green Bay?
I like that situation. Going into it, and we discussed this yesterday. I think that 3 years on the bench, he's going to come out and he's going to light it up, and people are going to say that was the smart thing to do, and they played it correctly.
What about Atlanta?
That's an interesting one. They're such a unique team because they're not bad, but having a second-year guy, Desmond Ridder, he has shown signs, but I don't see. I see his peak maybe in that 10 to 15 range.
All right, and that's not a horrible peak, by the way.
No.
Being one of the 10 to 15 best in the world at what you do isn't horrible.
No, it's not horrible.
But I see your point. Do you see the theme here? NFC. Like the worst quarterback situation in the AFC right now, Raiders? Because Garoppolo's a question mark?
Yeah, it's a question mark. And if he's playing, then that's not a bad situation.
Denver?
Could be. Very, very well could be.
New England?
I'd take the New England situation over Denver.
Indy?
I like the new blood.
You know where you're going. Pittsburgh? Kenny Pickett?
Kenny Pickett's an interesting one. I always think about his small hands.
Well, yeah, and that's all because it was shoved down your throat. Well, his hands weren't shoved down your throat, but that whole rhetoric was.
Yeah.
But he was just fine. I think they're fine there. And Mike Tomlin's going to find a way to get to 500.
Yeah, that's a fact. He is.
It's NFC. It's Washington. It's San Francisco, just because you don't know. It's Arizona because 36-year-old Colt McCoy is there. It's Tampa Bay because really Tampa Bay really is entrusting Baker Mayfield with this. Baker Mayfield had one game with the Rams last year. Remember, they came back and beat the Raiders. After that, he wasn't that good. It's Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask, and John Wolford.
Ouch. Yeah, that's a terrible situation.
Dude. Now he's got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin on the outside, which is wonderful. He's Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, that is such an interesting situation because you're right. He came back, in 3 days, won a game. And
it was a great story, dude. It was one of my favorite
stories
of the last football season. It was awesome. And they beat the Raiders, and it was the Rams, and it was on national TV, and it was awesome.
Yeah, but it was a 1 week story.
And then he became Baker Mayfield again.
Right, and he got paid by the Bucs, and welcome to 6-11.
Then he remembered that he was Baker Mayfield, and he became that dude again. All right, 505-246-0610 is how to get to us today. Welcome your phone calls. Welcome your texts at that number. I want to get more into the running back situation, and not just about the guys who missed on the franchise tag, but what about the guys who did get paid? What does it mean to them, and what about the guys coming up, the young guys? Would you want to be a running back? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal is proud to partner.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Kind of a glamour position historically, is it not? I mean, think of Tony Dorsett, OJ, Emmett, Walter Sweetness, Gale Sayers, Barry Sanders, Marshall Faulk. It's been glamour, man. But now, glamour is getting to the passer. Glamour is Aaron Donald. Why is it glamour? Well, he gets paid. Now, look, you get paid handsomely for us mere mortals. $10 million as an average is pretty good, or for a franchise guy. But your job is to get hit. I mean, am I wrong? Break it down. What's your job? Well, they give me the ball, and then really big dudes come really fast, and they hit me. That's my job. Or my job is to avoid getting hit by really big dudes. They get hurt at a high clip because they get hit more than anybody else, right? They get hit a lot.
Every time they touch the ball, basically.
Every time they touch the ball, unless they end up in the end zone. And even sometimes that. Who wants to be a running back, dude?
If I'm a high school kid, that is not the position I'm looking at.
It's kind of cool if you're playing high school football.
Yeah, scoring touchdowns is cool in high school.
Scoring touchdowns gets you chicks, right? Chicks dig the long ball.
They do. That's what I hear.
So it's kind of cool, but if you're, and again, if you're making $8, $9, $6, $10 million a year, you're doing pretty well in life. It's all perspective, though, right? If they're telling you that the theory is, and this is the concept, this is the model, this is the theory nowadays. In the National Football League, here's what you do. You draft a running back. You extend him in his 5th year. You franchise tag him once, and then you draft another running back. You don't have to pay him because you can go get a dude in the 3rd round out of SMU or out of VCU or out of UNM or out of NMSU, and you can go plug and play. That's the theory in the National Football League. Who wants to be a running back? Well, Jeff, you need running backs. Well, historically you have. Who were the playoff teams in the NFL last year? In the AFC, it was Buffalo and Miami, and it was Cincinnati and I believe Baltimore. It was Jacksonville and Kansas City and the Chargers. Of that, Austin Eckler would be the best running back, right? Who's Kansas City's best running back? Well, they kind of do it by committee. Yep, they do. Who is Jacksonville's best running back? Joe Mixon was good with Cincinnati. Who's Baltimore's best running back? They went through 1 million of them because they all got hurt before the season started. Who's Buffalo's best running back? What about Miami? Really? All right. Well, Jeff, go to the NFC. All right. The Giants had Saquon. Who was the Eagles' best running back? Miles Sanders. They loved him so much they let him go. Okay. What about Minnesota? Oh, well, they had Dalvin Cook. Oh, yeah, they loved him so much they just let him go. Really? Okay. Well. Was Tampa Bay a playoff team last year? Yeah, they won that division at 8-9, right? Leonard Fournette was their best running back. You think he's great? Not one of you does. Well, San Francisco had McCaffrey. Okay, there's your outlier. Seattle had the running back, the rookie.
Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker. All right, so, well, Jeff, who led the league in rushing last year? It was Josh Jacobs. Oh, yeah, how'd that team do? Oh, they didn't make the playoffs. So did you see the devalue in running back? So you're telling me the guy who led the league in yards and in total yards, they don't want to re-up him. So who the hell wants to be a running back? Now, you can still get paid and you can make a good living, and you're a stud and you get chicks. What? I mean, that's got to be part of the game, isn't it?
You would think so, yeah.
All right. Well, did we pay you in women? Stop it.
This isn't the Golden Knights here. Come on.
But you see the change. So the best running backs in the game, you tell me, are Christian McCaffrey. Okay, he made the playoffs. Then you're going to tell me Jonathan Taylor, well, he got hurt. The team didn't make the playoffs. Derrick Henry, they didn't make the playoffs. Josh Jacobs, well, they didn't make the playoffs. What am I doing?
You are explaining why running backs. are
Alvin
not getting
Kamara,
paid.
you told me makes $13 million, right?
13.
How'd
yeah.
they do?
Not so good. Not so good. And you point out, well, this really is an excellent point, is that when you overpay for your running back, it doesn't guarantee success by any stretch. So knowing that there's salary caps, you have to find a way to approach that differently. And that's exactly what's going on.
In a salary cap league, where am I saving $1 million, $2 million, $6 million?
Running back. When a guy like Evan Ingram's getting $13.5 million to play tight end, you realize that there's been a significant shift in how the offense is structured. Kind of starts with Travis Kelce and maybe even before that, Tony Gonzalez. But the importance of those pass catchers / blockers has just grown through the roof. And the running backs are definitely taking a hit because of that.
Who's my favorite for the Super Bowl? It's the Kansas City Chiefs, right?
Sure, yeah.
All right. So do you know the Kansas City Chiefs? Like who's their best running back?
Who's their best?
Yeah.
I still kind of like the LSU kid.
Pacheco?
Edwards.
All right. He's listed third on their depth chart.
Is he really?
They got Isaiah Pacheco, Jerick McKinnon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Do you consider any one of those guys elite?
Oh, no. McKinnon is one of those plug-and-play guys, to be honest.
All right.
He's probably worth $3 or $4 million a year, and he can get the job done.
Cincinnati's different. They got one. And they're one of the few teams that you consider a Super Bowl favorite that's got a guy you consider a really good running back, Joe Mixon, and they just redid his deal to move money around it to free up some money.
So they can sign their quarterback and receivers.
Do you know who's the top of Buffalo? That's the third pick for the Super Bowl. You know who's the top of their depth chart at running back?
Is it James Cook?
It is James Cook. Do you consider him to be elite?
Oh, not by a long shot. But I will say, it's interesting. If his brother Dalvin Cook gets signed by the Bills, that could impact his play a little bit.
Maybe.
I know I play better with my brother on the squad, but
your brother's going to jump over you.
That gives me more motivation to work hard.
James Cook, Damian Harris, Latavius Murray, Naheem Hines. It's just showing you. Baltimore, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Justice Hill. Who else do you consider a favorite? Like the Eagles? Okay, the Eagles are the defending NFC champs. They got DeAndre Swift because the Lions didn't want him. They got Rashad Penny because Seattle didn't want him. Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott. Any of those guys you consider elite?
Not elite, but as a group, they're pretty good.
No, as a group, that's pretty good.
And I think that's what we're seeing is you have to have that room. You know, having one great guy and a couple average guys is probably not as good as having 4 or 5 good guys.
Who wants to be a running back, dude?
Man, that's a tough one.
Who wants to be a running back? All right, I'll wrap you up when we come back. I'm going to get you everything you need to know as you go through your Tuesday. Well, at least sports-wise. Like, I'm not going to let you know how to stay cool and where the local pools are and how to get one of those cooling towels to wrap around your neck and where the AC is working. That part I can't help you with. But I'll get you everything that people are going to be talking about in the sports world. It's the opening drive. It's me in D.C. on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
This is Sean Morash with us.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. and we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Through your day. Paul Krebs' trial is in day 2. The former athletic director at UNM. I didn't know that this was being streamed live. Somebody told me this last night, like the OJ trial. Like people were watching it in their offices, and the whole thing's live. But it's I guess it's there if you want to find it. Pat Fitzgerald, the former coach now football coach at Northwestern, has been named a defendant in a lawsuit filed by an ex-Northwestern player. The lawsuits are coming in. 8 players got together yesterday and sued the university in regards to the hazing incident. So that's going to be an issue there. The Open Championship, the British Open as some of you call it, is 2 days away from starting. Rory McIlroy, John Rahm, Justin Rose will be paired together. People are going to be starting to get a little chatter going about that. And media days continue. I think you'll hear more on the Dion and Brent Venables feud. It's such a bizarre one to me. The coach at Oklahoma and the coach at Colorado in 2 different leagues are sniping at each other because of the way they do things. Oh, and Shohei hit his 35th home run yesterday with a bat flip, and the Angels win over the Yankees. So that's what people are going to be talking about. It's just the Brent Venables, Deion Sanders blab fest is just so bizarre. Like random. Give me 2 coaches that are going to go at each other. It'll be the guy from Oklahoma and the guy in Colorado. What are we doing? Text line 505-246-0610. Question. It says, what is the new Las Vegas facility, the Sphere, and what market industry sector does it serve. So it is a high-tech, it's going to be for concerts, entertainment. It's kind of unbelievable when you look at it from the outside. Have you looked into this a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to go.
So it's immersive. It's an immersive show, concert. So it's this big ball that grew out of the ground. And it didn't grow out of the ground, obviously. It was made there, but it's a music and entertainment venue near the Strip, and it was it's the world's largest LED screen, and evidently inside the immersive concert feel is just unlike anything else. Period. Anywhere. They say it's going to revolutionize the way you go to live shows.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
Yeah, it's just different. This is what analytical purpose does it serve to list the 5 worst quarterback scenarios? How did we get there? I don't even remember. Do you remember?
Sam Darnold. We were talking about who's in the 8 to 20, and then we started talking about who's
all right.
low.
All right. What analytical purpose does it serve? I don't know what analytical purpose it serves. We were talking about Ryan Tannehill, and you asked me, would you put him in that 8 to 20 range? I said, yeah, I'd put him on the back end. Then you showed me a list, and brought up Sam Darnold, who was 31st, and I asked who are the 5 worst scenarios in the NFL. What analytical purpose? What analytical purpose does any of it serve? I mean, I don't know. Just kind of having a conversation like that's all we do here, right? Is just have conversations. Analytical I don't know. I don't know. This is interesting. One of Bill Belichick's former players, this just came out about an hour ago. Asante Samuel doesn't like Bill Belichick. It's funny, the further we get it used to be sacrilege to crack on Bill Belichick, right? He's the greatest of all time. Now that he's 71 and he's had a couple of down years and the roster isn't what it was, now it's okay. Now everybody's like, people are going to just pile on, and former players are going to come and beat the hell out of Bill Belichick because they didn't like him. So the former NFL cornerback, Asante Samuels, he was drafted by Belichick in 2003, played 5 seasons under him. He was on All Things Covered, a podcast, and he ripped his former head coach. The host is Bryant McFadden, and Samuel said that Belichick is not the greatest head coach of all time. And the success was due to Tom Brady. Quote, absolutely not. He was asked, is Belichick the greatest coach? Absolutely not. Are you crazy? Look at his record without Tom. You got to win without Tom. One thing I learned about being great is you got to be great in different situations. It was all Tom. I was there. I saw it. It was Tom. Everybody know it. Tom know it. But he ain't going to admit it because he wants to be politically correct. That's why I'm here. I'm going to tell the truth. End quote. Was it all Tommy? I mean, Tommy went somewhere else. See, Tommy went into a situation where he had a loaded team, and Belichick has not had a good team since. He's had Mac Jones. Now, you can tell me he picked Mac Jones, and I don't know if that's right or not. But is it arguable that when they split, Brady went into a way better situation than Belichick was in?
Well, yeah, that it's hard to argue against that.
I don't even know how you would.
No. Yeah.
So
Belichick just lost the greatest quarterback of all time. That's kind of a tough thing to get back
from
the
the
next season.
The argument on the other side would be, well, if Brady lost the best coach of all time, then how did he win? But look at the situation he went into.
Yeah, he had 52 good players to play with.
Yeah. Now, Asante Samuel has taken jabs at Belichick before. He was in the offseason when Lamar Jackson's situation with the Ravens was kind of volatile, and people were saying that Lamar should go to the Patriots, and he went on Twitter and said, quote, Lamar Jackson, my brother, trust me, you don't want to play for Belichick, end quote. And he's called him just another coach before, and he's been on TMZ in the aftermath of Tommy and said that Tommy probably just got tired of Belichick. So he's just a dude that has not been on the Belichick side. I when it's all said and done, and I don't even know when it is Belichick going to be, is his legacy on the line? See, to me, the guy's won 7 Super Bowls. His legacy is not on the line.
That's an interesting question, because knowing that he's a coach and the GM and has so much power in Patriots land, you do start to look at it like, if you're not making these moves, you didn't go out and get D-Hop. You don't seem to be going out to get running back. I can see how it is starting to crumble a bit. But, then you look at the rings and what he did with Giants and throughout his career, it's kind of hard to say it's completely falling apart, but he is no longer on that top pedestal that he once was.
Well, who would be then? Is it Lombardi? Because, Lombardi, go back and look. His numbers are better than Lombardi. They are. But is it just the legacy of Lombardi and this whole? None of us ever saw Lombardi, right? None of us have. But we were told Babe Ruth is the best ever, so he must be.
That's what they say.
Yeah. Thanks to Dante Martin. He was with us today, Lobos cornerback. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Coward will follow that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4. Then you get Isotopes at Sugarland. We're back tomorrow morning from Vegas with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. Look forward to speaking with you then. John Sullivan, former Lobo All-America and Associate Athletic Director in charge of football for the Mountain West Conference. Good to be with us. Be good to each other, please. DC, great work today. Adrian looks fantastic on the visual side. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors.